Days of Our Lives, is Kat actually a secret agent for Shane? Shocking proposition. Days of Our Lives spoilers: Kat's ISA secret. Shane wants Abigail impersonator for new assignment. Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. After watching these videos, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Days of Our Lives suckers notice strange effects with Kat Green. One of them happened last week when she came to offer condolences, and one happened at the burial this week when she spoke compactly to Shane Donovan. I'm now wondering whether there's a lot further to Kat than we know. Is there any chance she's some kind of undercover super asset working for Shane, and we only just set up out about it? Unraveling the riddle's strange hassles with Kat Green on Days of Our Lives. So, let's get into the strange effects going on with Kat, and whether we've reason to worry about her claws. So last week, talking to Tate Black, Kat saw a print of Sammy Brady and honored her, but said she couldn't place her. That's when Kat was dropping off food for her grieving master Marlena Evans, who had just lost her hubby John Black. Not only that, but Kat got emotional when she saw John Black's picture on the mantle as well. But that part of it makes sense, because of the tie with John and Katarina. But there could be further to it, so. The Sammy thing was the first head scrape, and also this week on Monday's occasion at John's burial, Kat catwalked by Shane didn't indeed really decelerate up, spoke to him as she cruised by and called him director. And he gave Kat a look. So what's that about? Days of Our Lives, the ISA connection, Kat Green's secret identity, and Shane Donovan's part. Let me tell you, I was formerly noodling on how Sammy and Kat might be connected, and also my cognizance really perked up hearing her address the head of the ISA, Shane Donovan, by his sanctioned title, director. And he replied to Kat calling him that. Now Shane didn't really feel shocked, perhaps a little surprised that Kat spoke to him at all. And Shane kind of gave a knowing regard as well. So how in the world does Kat know Shane as director of anything? We haven't learned a whole lot about Kat since she arrived in Salem last June. You know, posing as revivified Abigail Devereaux. Chad DiMera and Jack Devereaux set up her after Clyde Weston left a trail of Chuck Moats to her position if you flash back. And she was set up near John if you recall, all in confluence. Kat's mysterious history, amnesia, blackmail, and deception in Salem. So that was a time ago, June 2024. Kat Green debuted as a riddle. A woman who apparently had amnesia, and Chad and Jack came certain that she was Abby Devereaux, because they had been wisecracked. She wisecracked Chad and Jack for a while. But Abby's mama, Jennifer Horton, no, she knew right down that Kat was her cherished son, Abby back from the dead. And, of course, it ultimately came out. Clyde Weston was blackmailing Kat and her family, Dr. Mark Green, to do dirty deeds for him, and that was all part of Clyde's scheme to get hold of the DiMera fortune. However, he'd have their mama Katharina Meliones Green killed if Kat and Mark didn't do what Clyde said, because he'd her interned. And also last fall, Kat's mama got loose, shot Clyde. And now he's still in a coma. Days of Our Lives, Clyde Weston knows. Sorely, only Clyde knows the position of Abby's remains, and of course it took some time for Chad to forgive Kat for her part in that scheme, but now Chad and Kat are musketeers, his kiddies indeed like her. If you flash back, EJ DiMera won the winning shot for a date with Kat for the charity transaction to profit the sanitarium. And EJ claimed Chad take her on the date rather of him. And we all know Kat's got a huge crush on Chad. But Jennifer raged at Kat again to stay far down from Chad and stay out of the Horton family house. Jen really let Kat have it and UCA and condemn her at all. Unanswered questions, Sammy, John Black, and Kat's retired secrets. So first there was the Sammy thing, and now there's the Shane thing. So we know Kat Green is hiding commodity on Days of Our Lives. But what? Why did she fate Sammy, and did she know John better than she let on? And that's tied into the Shane thing. So, Kat may be hiding a huge secret about John from her and Marlena. Some days suckers have wondered if they're doing a retcon, a rewrite of history to make Kat another of John Black's long-lost children wouldn't be the first. Don't forget we set up how John saved Kat's mama. John had gotten her down, whisked her mama Katarina out from under vituperative monster Constantine Meliones in Greece, and faked Katarina's death to keep Constantine from chancing her. So perhaps John and Katarina had a brief fling way back also. So Kat could be a half, family to Brady Black, Bell Black, and Paul Narita. That could also be how Kat honored Sammy. Perhaps she realized, oh, that's my father's stepdaughter, but she'd only really seen her in prints, you know. Wild addict propositions, plastic surgery, European conventions, and a possible Cassie Brady reveal. Another addict proposition is that Kat might have seen Sammy when she was at EJ's bedside when he was recovering in Europe. Kat might have been at the same recovery center, because she had expansive plastic and reconstructive surgery after. Being in a bad auto accident where her mama and Pater both apparently failed, but only her Pater failed, and that's how Clyde got a hold of Katerina, and also of Kat, and that's also why Felicity Green and Aaron didn't fate their family cat when she showed up in Salem. So perhaps she had a run-in with Hurricane Sammy in the European clinic. That's another option. Another wild proposition is Kat is really Cassie Brady. Days suckers haven't seen Rex Brady's binary in like 20 times. She was played by Alexis Thorpeback also. Cassie and Rex bizarrely were first studied to be aliens and also allowed to be genetically finagled by Dr. Wilhelm Rolf, and a lot of suckers abominated the Rex and Cassie crazy origin stories. Days of Our Lives, the truth comes out. Eventually, they turned out to be Kate Roberts and Roman Brady's kitties made from stolen eggs and sperm, and also latterly, Cassie was killed by the Salem snooper, brainwashed Marlena. Cassie's picked body was set up in a Thanksgiving piñata. Kate was set up holding the murder armament and arrested, but also latterly we learned all the Salem snooper deaths were an elaborate fake-out by Andre DiMera. He was pretending to be Tony DiMera. And all the Salem snooper victims were set up alive on the islet, melees when, Salem backwards, another ridiculous plot. After they were all saved, Cassie moved to Chicago with her family Rex, where he still lives now. He's been back and forth, but that's where he's now. And she was no way seen again, and yes, it may be far brought that Kat is Cassie, but stranger effects have happened on days just as the have set up in tinfoil and assumed to be aliens. So, Kat Green being Cassie Brady deep undercover for the ISA isn't really a stretch for days. Let's be real. Unborn Stories, Chad's exit, heritage families, and Kat's place in Salem. What we could be seeing now is the new pens doing two effects. First, trying to clean up some of the mess that Ron Carlivati left before, and also trying to place Kat in one of the Salem heritage families either as a child of John and Katerina, or as Cassie, or tied to a heritage association like the ISA, and why they would do that is Kat's scene mate Chad DiMera is leaving Days. His final occurrences air in early 2026. And if Kat is sticking around, they need to have her on firmer footing with a place to go in the plot once Billy Flynn's final occurrences air. One thing's for certain, it's egregious now Kat knows Shane Donovan as director of the ISA, so that begs the question, has Kat been working for Shane this whole time, indeed while she was under Clyde's thumb? Or did Shane novitiate Kat after chancing out how well she manipulated Chad and Jack and other people? I mean, heck, it could have indeed been John himself who recommended Kat to the ISA. That would be intriguing. So keep watching for other hands about what's over with Shane, Kat, and Sammy. Days of Our Lives spoilers Kat's ISA secret, Shane wants Abigail impersonator for new assignment. Days of Our Lives spoilers reveal that Kat Green may have a secret ISA charge in the workshop. Does Shane Donovan want this former Abigail DiMera impersonator for a new assignment? Days suckers may recall that back in May, Kat was frustrated over a patient riddle frequenter. Someone constantly communicated Kat with some kind of pitch, but she made it clear that she wasn't interested. Could Shane have been the bone on the other end of the line? It's a possibility to consider since Shane and Kat participated a weird on-screen moment in Days' June 9th occasion. When Kat showed up ahead of John Black's burial service, she sounded rather frosty as she walked once Shane. Kat had a bit of instation as she called Shane director and kept strutting on by. That tells Days of Our Lives observers that Kat knows exactly who Shane is and that she's supposedly rather irked with him. The fact that Kat appertained to Shane as director could be a hint about them interacting in a professional capacity. It's possible Shane was the one behind those mysterious phone calls that Days suckers have been pondering. Maybe Shane has a charge that he feels Kat would be perfect for, but she's been reticent to get on board. Kat presumably doesn't want to go down the road of deception again, since she caused so important pain with her Abigail charade. That wasn't really Kat's fault since Clyde Weston was running the show, but she still feels shamefaced for the part she played. Still, Shane may be impressed with how well Kat was suitable to wisecrack so numerous Salemites, including Abigail's own hubby, Chad DiMera. It's a skill that could be useful to the ISA, so perhaps Shane is trying to bait Kat into a fresh assignment. Rather of working for a villain like Clyde, Shane may feel Kat should use her bents to profit the good guys. Of course, there's another option to pound over then. It's possible Kat has worked for the ISA ahead, and that Shane is simply trying to pull her back into some asset games. Kat may be keeping some secrets about her history and the operations she's formerly carried out, so that's commodity to keep in mind. Whatever the case, Days of Our Lives spoilers say Kat and Shane's link will be revealed sooner or laterly, so stick with us for updates on all the surprising news to come. Thanks for watching these videos. Please hit the subscribe button for more updated news.